Alexander, what objections do you encounter most often in retail when implementing dynamic pricing?
I'll start by saying there are two sides to pricing. One is calculating the optimal price itself. Nobody really objects to that. Everyone says, sure, let's calculate the best price.
The second side of pricing is the decision-making process, how prices are actually set. This is where psychological barriers appear. And it's just many people fear the black box effect. A system calculates a recommendation, but managers are still responsible for the outcome. And for many, that feels like a career risk. In $30, global research shows an interesting pattern. Well, let's lower the price. 80% don't object. They're all for lowering it. If the system says increase the price a little, only 40% of managers decide to go ahead. The rest are like, no, maybe not now, let's hold off. What if the customers run away? I believe the biggest challenge is the decision-making process itself, how pricing decisions are organized. In many companies, bonuses are tied to margins, so people naturally become more cautious. That is why we introduced an AI agent layer into our system. It explains why a specific price was recommended and helps managers make better decisions. I think many companies still see dynamic pricing systems as a black box. The system produces a number, but people do not fully understand why. And when the underlying data is imperfect, trust becomes even harder. That is why we use AI agents to explain pricing decisions, why a certain price was recommended, what factors influenced it, and what outcome to expect.
So we're not afraid to lower them,
Yes, lowering
but
is no problem.
raising them, even though everyone has plans, margins, and profitability to worry about. We're all afraid, but we need to trust. We need to learn.
I compare it to using a GPS while driving. 15 years ago, I think a lot of drivers didn't really trust the GPS. They'd say, I know my way around. I've been driving these roads like this. But now pretty much everyone uses one. And it's true, it's usually more accurate and gets you from point A to point B faster.
And that is excellent. We hope that our retailers will learn to trust dynamic pricing as a guide when they are making their pricing decisions.